Good afternoon, Toronto. Your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, co-host Kavita Metha, in our popular weekly talk show, Voice of Canada, which is exclusively produced by Awaz TV Entertainment Mississauga. We have a very dynamic and a learned guest she's a French-speaking girl, but she has really a knowledge of so many things, what kind of work she's doing currently. She is Cyndie Trusca. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, Asphandiar.
Again, warmly welcoming to our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada, hosted by Asphandiar Wadiwalla and myself, Kavita Metha, co-host for tonight. Cyndie, welcome to our show again. Please, let's start with a little bit about your Scientology church and the functions there.
Yes, thank you very much, Kavita. And bonjour to everybody that are listening and that are also French. Today I'm here to talk about the volunteer minister program of my Church of Scientology. I would like to start actually by clarifying what Scientology means, because it's a new word for a lot of people. Scientology basically means knowing how to know. It comes from the Latin word scio, which means knowing, and logos, which means the study of. So it's basically knowing how to know, or the study of knowledge.
Cyndie, as you are a French-speaking girl from Quebec, but we are proud that even French is our national language here in Canada. So explain to our viewers more in detail, when did you join the Scientology church, the ministry, as a volunteer, and just now we are promoted to the national volunteer. Previously, you joined when you were in Quebec, am I right?
Yes.
And then you were, with your hard work, dedication, you were promoted and you were sent to Ontario.
Exactly.
So welcome to Ontario and welcome to our show, Voice of Canada.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me here today. So I will give you a bit of details about my journey and also in Scientology, how I started. First of all, I was born near Montreal, so in Longueuil, exactly. And I moved to Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers, for most of my teen years. When I was there, I was basically doing my studies, so I was not involved in any type of religious organization whatsoever. But I did face some challenges, especially with my friends. They started to go to some parties and they would be faced with drugs, and they had issues with family members. A lot of families were also divorced, and I really wanted to find a way to help them, but I did not know how. I did not have any means to help them other than just being a good friend, and for me that was not enough. So my mom had started some Scientology courses years before.
Your family is also involved?
My mom and my stepdad, actually. The rest of my family are mainly Christian, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to give a little story of how I started.
So that means, just clarify over here, that you said that they are Christians, so the Scientology people are some different?
Yes.
Preaching? So what you all, according to the religion?
So, Scientology is, as I said, the study of knowledge. So people from any faith can be part of Scientology because we are basically showing knowledge. You have these books here, like how to study and truth about drugs.
But the Scientology is it what you call an establishment, what you all impart the knowledge. But the religion, you cannot say Scientology is the religion.
Yeah, Scientology is actually
the religion. A religion.
Yeah.
Wow.
So can I be a Hindu and follow Scientology?
Yeah, you can. Okay. I was baptized, in the Christian
community.
Yeah, Scientology is more like, how I can say, let's say you're a Muslim, you're praying 5 times a day, you're following the teaching of the Quran. We do have family of Muslims that are coming to church, and they bring their family and they do communication courses.
Very good.
That does not go against
anything. No. It's like there is an Indian saint known as Sai Baba, the same concept.
Exactly.
In Shirdi. Am I right?
Yes.
So they are also, all the world religion people from the many religions, they follow him because his teachings are very, very clear.
Exactly.
Follow the truth.
It's practical.
Practical. Yeah.
Good.
Go ahead.
So, Cyndie, moving forward, so because of the pandemic period, you ended up doing Zoom meetings with your friends and families and the viewers, your followers, I would say, Scientology followers. What were the subjects and topics that you were able to cover in these about 60 to 70 minutes of seminars?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, actually, we started these webinars because before the pandemic, we were doing a lot of seminars in different communities, and that was not possible with the lockdown and all of that, obviously. So I called my volunteer minister in charge from Southern Ontario, Philippe Dubreuil, which you know.
He's from Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
He's a very, very good person. I love him.
Yeah, you attended to many.
And soon we'll ask him to come over in an interview.
Yeah.
And give us a talk.
Yeah.
Because he has got really good knowledge.
Exactly. So just to answer the question, we started to do these webinars. It was in, I think, June 2020. Yeah, 2020. We started to do one. Like, that was the plan. Oh, let's do one and see how it goes. Okay. And we were basically sharing tools on how you can be like in control of your life, even though you are in a lockdown and you don't feel like you can necessarily do anything like for the whole planet that has a pandemic. Mm-hmm. But what can you do to be more in control of your life, of your family? So we did talk about that and share some tools that people could use in their lives. But they loved it, and that was not just for our followers. That was for everybody. Like people,
means mankind, whoever they are interested.
Yeah, my grandmas, they are not in Scientology at all, and they attended and they loved it, and they keep coming like on a weekly basis.
I attended a few during the lockdown.
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
Oh my God, 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's good.
And because she does it on Sunday, and it's a very, very nice group. You gain knowledge when you hear them out. Cyndie, inform our viewers of Voice of Canada that Scientology Church is not actually a church. It's an establishment of knowledge. Am I right? We can also say there's establishment which gives so much of knowledge in so many fields to our people. And first, initially, you joined 6 years ago from Quebec. Then you were brought here to Ontario to serve on the national level. So now tell our viewers what bigger things and what more surprises are coming from your Scientology church and from you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. As I said, yes, we are a religion. Scientology is a religion, but it's also, as you said, like a spiritual establishment.
Just establishment also.
An establishment where we provide knowledge on any topics. Like if you need help with your marriage, you want to be a better communicator, or your kids are suffering in school and they cannot study properly, well, we do have tools for that. So that's what we do in Scientology. And I'm in charge of the volunteer minister program with Bernard Homier. So what it is actually a disaster relief program. Mm-hmm. So we do help not necessarily just for Scientology tools, but also when there is a disaster, earthquake, hurricane.
A lockdown or pandemic. That was also rather a disaster, which we never expected.
Yeah, during the lockdown, we did quite a lot. I don't know. Yeah, you saw the.
I saw a few of yours. I did attend, and they were quite assurance and relief when we used to hear you out, because there was confusion all over during lockdown. Yeah, there were rumors, but there uncertainties were surrounding us, and so much of fear was being spread by the science table as well as by the other people, the media. So at times, though, you won't believe, I was really not in favor of seeing the news. They used to just inform how many people died of COVID, which was rather very scary for people to say, okay, why people are dying so many and what we are doing. We are a developed nation and a G7, G20 status, but still how cannot we control the pandemic? Yeah. So, but then people like Cyndie, her establishment joined in, and some other organizations, they started working. Even our legislatures did their level best in helping the people, delivering food. Our food banks were the great source because lots of people during pandemic who were daily earners lost their wages because immediately the employer could not pay them because they used to get day-to-day salary. So there were so many factors involved. Plus, we had no vaccine also that time. I'm talking about 2020 when the pandemic was declared in
Just
March.
yeah.
And so for 6 months, rather 5 or 6 months, it was a total confusion.
Yeah.
Then we started getting the vaccine from June.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Cyndie, let's move forward to the establishment, as we are calling. So tell us a little bit about the founder of the Scientology Church Ministry, and when was it founded, and what are the main objectives from then to now?
Yes, this is very good. I would like to add something just before regarding what you just mentioned. I don't know if it's okay, regarding our program that we did during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we had this book. It's called How to Keep Yourself and Others Well.
Mm-hmm.
And this booklet was printed in like millions of copies in 21 languages.
Wow.
And it teaches people just the common sense things that you have to do to stay healthy. And that was at the crucial moment, as you said, when people were in confusion, were in fear. We did not know what to do at the beginning. And there was a lot of data on social media, but you could not necessarily find exactly what you were looking for, because that was like
There was no solution in sight for many
Exactly.
things.
So we printed those and we distributed 7.5 million of those booklets all around the globe. And in Canada, we distributed actually 163,000, which is about one booklet per 230
And it is being
Canadians.
printed in various languages also?
21, yeah.
21 languages, wow. So you all are meeting your target very well.
Yeah, I mean, we believe that knowledge is power, and also like all insecurity exists in the absence of knowledge. So that was important for us to just tell people how you can actually stay safe.
Stay safe. And even today, in the end of the interview, we are proposing that we will be showing a drug abuse video also, which has been prepared by the Scientology Church for our viewers. That will be also very great help to the people to know what are the causes and how to avoid drugs in your life. So you all are doing great job, because I had the honor about 2 years, maybe before pandemic, to visit your Scientology Church in
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Yeah, I came to Cambridge to your church and I spent about few hours with them, and they are fantastically well established and well settled, well established. They have the knowledge, they have the books, they have the tools, and they know what they are doing. Plus, Cyndie and Bernard, they outreach so many communities.
It's important to work all
Very
together.
important communities, and not only general communities, but I've seen them even in the political events too. They have even reached our political legislatures as well in Ontario. But then they are doing a wonderful job.
I love the way you keep on calling it. And it's true that Scientology is having the ability to have that knowledge.
Yeah.
When all the I'm from a multicultural family. My parents were not the same religion. So both religions, what Dad has taught me is that education is the basis, is the grassroots.
Absolutely.
And that's just another word of knowledge, right? So I think I can relate to it. I've heard it, but I don't think all of us follow it.
Yeah.
And we just need that push.
We'll be taking a short break and we'll be soon with you. Welcome back in our show, Voice of Canada. After a short break, we really have a pleasure of having Cyndie Trusca from Scientology Church, which is not only the church, it's a very, very big establishment of vast knowledge, and the way they are doing their work is really remarkable on their part. So I would request Cyndie to continue with the answer of my co-host Kavita Metha, what she asked before the break.
Yes. Would you like to repeat the question,
of course.
please?
So my question was, give us a little bit more about the founder of Scientology Ministry, and what are the objectives, and how is it formed? How was it established?
Okay, thank you very much. You want to know about like the volunteer minister?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I brought something that I would like to read.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the volunteer minister, which we call VM program, was launched more than 30 years ago in response to an appeal by Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. noting a tremendous downturn in the level of ethics and morality in society
Awesome.
and a consequent increase in drugs and crime, Mr. Hubbard wrote, "If one does not like the crime, cruelty, injustice, and violence of this society, he can do something about it. He can become a volunteer minister and help civilize it, bring it conscience and kindness and love and freedom from travel by instilling into it trust, decency, honesty, and tolerance."
Wow.
Cyndie, inform our viewers of VOC that you do so many events. Every week, I am surprised how you collect the data, how you organize, because managing 2 shows kills me. I'm telling you the fact.
Don't
And
lie.
and even my most of my weekend, passes in formulating the questionnaire and other things.
Yeah.
And I spend quite a lot of time because it's not easy to be a program coordinator and arranging prominent guests
Yeah.
with certain criteria only. I don't call every guest or everybody in my show. I've got a very, very specific criteria. I call the politicians, I call the diplomats, and the ladies who are celebrated and doing humanitarian work, who are serving the humanity, or they are empowering other women.
Yes.
So these are the three, 4 categories only I call. And that's why lots of people, they don't like it also because they request it. And I simply refuse them that I cannot have you in my show. But now I've become more diplomatic. What I do is my colleague from the same channel
Yeah.
runs a very nice show, which takes everybody. Everybody means all subjects. She has got a more knowledge than me even. So she covers all aspects of life. So I hand over that guest to my colleague. So they are happy that their work and whatever the request was also fulfilled. And again my criteria also meets.
Yes, well, thank you very much. And you're a very good organizer. This
Thank
is
you.
amazing. Like when you sent me the question, I really saw that
Yeah, I work
you were
hard
interested to know.
to
It's
know
not just
all
like a
about your
generic-
organization.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
See, we were more interested to know what kind of
Yeah.
work you are doing, what kind of service you are giving to the humanity,
Yeah.
and in which fields and which subjects which are most important in this hectic life of ours. So that was the main purpose. And I've known you for nearly 4 to 5 years. Am I right? Nearly.
Yeah.
So I know your work, and how many times I've been absent in your seminars and webinars and all, and I couldn't attend. But you were always very kind to understand my difficulties also. You are a very
Obviously, it's
understanding
normal.
person.
It's very busy. You are
And-
busy.
And I was also busy. Then I underwent 2 major surgeries, but you all never left the contact. I used to get either call from you or Bernard asking me how I am, what I am doing, if I need any kind of assistance or any help or any knowledge in form of. And you all were always very, very kind and concerned friends.
Thank you.
So I truly appreciate. I would say rather keep the work going, what you are doing,
Definitely.
rather expand your horizon.
Yeah.
And enlighten other communities also, other people also, because here we need lots of awareness.
We do, actually. It's something important.
The reason is that we have got 182 nationalities here in Canada. It's the largest multicultural country in the world. Canada is.
Absolutely.
Nobody has 182 nationalities. So we have got all types of people, all sects of people. So we have to be very, very vigilant and be Canadians first. That's what I tell my viewers and my friends and well-wishers, that whichever community, religion we belong, it's fine. We respect, Canada respects every religion, every community, every thinking, all your culture. We have got no objection, but be true Canadians.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah. So Cyndie, moving forward, Scientology Church or Ministry, as we call it, and that you have published a lot of books, a lot of literature.
Yes.
How do you refer that to a normal person, and how do you think they are making use of it?
Very good question. Thank you for asking. As I said before, we were based on providing knowledge, right, to
Yeah.
people so they can use that knowledge, become more competent in whatever field they want to be or, that they need expertise in. And then they can become a better person and help their fellow man. So we actually have several dozen of books and 3,000 recorded lectures from L. Ron Hubbard. This is quite a big array of information.
Very big data.
Yeah, so people can do like different things. They can do extension courses. So they can get a book and read it at home, or they can also have the extension courses, which they're basically sending their lesson in our church. That can be from email or by mail as well.
Oh, one-on-one personal meetings. You're always open to one-on-one personal meetings. You both are so open and you all are readily available. That's the biggest thing for people.
Yes. Yeah, she was asking about the book, so I was answering about that. But for the volunteer ministers, what we're doing is basically we do one-on-one help, right? Like if somebody needs help, that's our job, to help people, whatever
You
they
extend
need.
moral help.
We do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You bring the confidence back in the people who are losing confidence.
Exactly.
Achha. Cyndie, before we go further, as you all are working very hard on the use of drugs and opioids, so inform our viewers how much you all have worked and what you would advise, because now one of the drugs is legal in Canada. Marijuana is legal.
Yeah.
So our younger generation, most of them are pushing towards that. And anything overused is not good for health or anything like that. So explain to them, if for recreation use, it's fine, but overusing any legal drug even is not at all good for your health, nor for your well-being.
Exactly. Thank you for asking that. I think it's a very important issue. And the Volunteer Minister Canada, one of the main issues that we're addressing right now in GTA is drug awareness. We are doing a lot of seminars. We're organizing one soon in a temple. We have different communities that they want to inform the youth and also the parents, because this is so common. You can get, these drugs almost everywhere. But one thing that's important to know is that drug is not necessarily something that a person will naturally go toward. There is always something before. That can be like peer pressure. That can be publicity. Oh, it looks cool. I saw that in all the music videos. Or it can be also, you're having a problem. You don't have the solution. Nobody likes to feel pain. Like nobody likes to feel bad emotions. So they will go towards drug as a solution to not feel that pain.
Yeah, or to maybe escape troubles.
Exactly.
So, the major, I've seen because we have also dealt with drug cases and did counseling. And most of the cases were that they were under tension and they had anxiety. So they went on drugs or maybe even excess drinking to escape from their worries.
Yeah.
But that is not a solution.
It is not a solution, but I think education is key, because if I'm just telling a person, well, don't take drugs, that's not going to help.
That is not going to help. We have to explain to them, spread awareness.
Exactly.
Inform them what are the good use of drugs and what are the bad effects of it.
Exactly. I mean, drugs are essentially a poison. Even coffee, if you think about it, if you drink too much, you're going to fall asleep. And if you really drink too much, you might go to the hospital. Right. So drugs is all in terms of...
But if you take in a positive manner, Cyndie, there are lots of tablets here also, or capsules, which has got these drugs for killing of pain. And giving some in major illnesses and operation cases.
Exactly. It's like
so it has got both positive use as well as the negative use also.
Yeah, we're talking more about the street drugs and their abuses here, right?
Yeah.
And in Canada, we are majority are educated people, so we should be very cautious in using drugs.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Cyndie, how would you express your views on domestic violence in our communities? As I believe greatly that it has increased more during these pandemic couple of years, and the numbers are pretty high. What do you think, what are the causes, and why is it like mostly domestic violence against women?
Women.
Yes.
85 to 90% is against a woman. Maybe 5 or 10% maybe against the men, but the majority chunk is towards a woman.
Yes.
She becomes the victim of domestic violence.
So yeah, we'll definitely condemn any type of domestic violence against men or women or children, like obviously.
Yeah.
But what is like the root cause of the problem? I think that they can be many, and if it
Several problems. You cannot
Exactly.
identify exactly
No.
for this reason domestic violence happens.
So I think that during the pandemic, because people were in a lockdown under a lot of pressure, stress, unemployment, and I'm not justifying that it's okay to do domestic violence. It is not in any cases. But if people were just stuck at home with all that stress, every couple that were probably already facing this issue or were prone to
Or maybe economic crisis are there.
Exactly.
There are lots of issues generally. It's
Yeah.
not, you cannot specifically state one.
No.
Even the culture plays one of the major roles in domestic violence.
Yeah.
Religion also plays somewhat. There are certain very conservative religions over here, and the people, they get violent. And they show their violence towards their better half, which is not a right way.
It is not.
So that's why, in continuation of my colleague's question, would you like to emphasize more on domestic violence, how we can avoid domestic violence to a greater extent? Because during pandemic, let me bring you on record the statistical figures. Over 24 women were killed by their very own, mostly by their
Spouses.
or their very near or dear ones, for very, very petty reasons. So how can we rather reduce such crimes, which is not a good thing in a country like Canada?
Well, I think again, education is key. Like marriage counseling, there are different tools, but also the person that is gonna exert violence towards somebody else, the person has some anger issues and other problems that he's not facing. So sometimes, in any situation that can be different, it can be a specific conflict that is created, that can be other past issues, things that are not communicated and being hid from the person, right? Which is starting to build up some anger. So I think like communication is very key.
And the faith is very important. Trust and faith.
It is important.
In your better half, if you have trust, you can overcome all the crises.
But to have trust, you need to have an open communication. Because you're not going to trust the person if you can't communicate freely.
Because there are several cases that especially the spouse don't believe in the better half, because they have been let down in the past.
Exactly.
This is the reason when we did the counseling, we found out in the end that what were the causes which angered the man to take such a drastic action against a woman, a young woman, educated woman, a housewife, a bread earner also. She also contributes. In Canada, it's usually contributed by both men and wife, husband and wife. Am I right? So it's very, very difficult. It's a very deep-rooted question and the problem. But God willing, after the pandemic, it's under control. There are not so many cases happening. And we hope that it may never happen, a violence against anyone. Because Canadians are quite a compassionate people. We believe in compassion.
Definitely, yes.
We don't believe in violence. But at certain times, men cannot control their emotions.
Humans.
I would
rather, say, let's not say men.
Yeah.
No, humans, they lose control over their emotions, and they take ugly actions, which are harmful to the whole family and to the country as well.
And I think it comes down to what Cyndie has been repeating all over the show is knowledge. We need knowledge. We need education to overcome, to have better communication or to overcome the fears that we have amongst each other.
Exactly.
Cyndie, about your outreach here in Ontario, what are the major communities you and your colleagues are able to outreach here? And are you able to, help them? Is it enough to benefit people?
So is it enough? That's a good question, actually. We can
but
always
is it
do
adequate
more.
with just two of you outreaching so many communities?
So this is not only Bernard and I. We actually have a lot of volunteers all over Canada.
Oh, I see. Even in Ontario.
Oh, yeah.
So how come I have not met any other pretty volunteers?
Well, you need to come to our events in person, not just webinars.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have a lot of volunteers. basically all our Church of Scientology have their own groups of volunteer ministers, and they're going to help in their area. That's how it works.
Mhm.
Bernard
Okay.
and I are at the management level. So what we do is we're touring around Canada into different places.
Around
and-
Canada or around Ontario?
Around Canada.
Oh, wow. So you're
Yeah.
visiting other provinces also.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, so
You are working
Basically-
like a prime minister of Scientology Church. Huh?
volunteer
In some
minister.
ways.
Volunteer minister. Yeah.
Volunteer minister. So, anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah. So, what are there any specific communities you get to reach out, or is it?
What do you mean by communities?
I mean,
There are so many nationalities and communities.
Like, are you more towards
Oh.
Hinduism or
No, so
Muslims,
basically-
Hindu, Filipinos, Chinese, Vietnamese,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
Caucasians.
reach everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, there and plus our books are in so many languages that and we can even get them translated. So we just want to reach like mankind. It's not like a specific. No, it's like
Okay.
the volunteer
So
ministers.
it's open
are-
to, you're open to everyone, whoever shows
Yeah.
interest
Yeah, exactly.
in
And
absorbing
also-
knowledge from you all.
Yeah, and volunteer ministers, as I said, is a disaster relief organization. We
Just
also do-
curiosity, I
Yeah.
have a question which I don't think
No,
we
no,
would
good.
have been
Okay,
able to
because they are not
So-
targeting any particular communities.
right.
They are open to all Canadians. We
Right.
can put it that way.
Yeah,
So when you are outreaching with communities and you have these literatures ready
yeah,
for these communities to make use of to move forward with knowledge.
Yeah.
One literature may be accepted by my religion and
Yeah.
that not accepted by his religion.
exactly.
How do you bring that bridge
So
to that both of us can understand?
yeah, so basically what we do is like we're meeting with different people and we're asking them, so what is needed and wanted in your community?
Right.
And some would say, well, our youth are facing drug issues and they need help with that. We're going to other communities and they're asking for something different, like about marriage.
Right.
So then we're going to do a seminar on that topic for their community. Now, if we're in a big organization or an event and we're doing just like a general seminar for everybody that is there, I mean, it's just knowledge. Like you can take what is true for you, what is not true for you, you don't use, right?
Right.
Like, so that's how it works.
That's a lot of work.
Cyndie, there is one question which is out of our agenda, which I'm asking you. As you are aware that Canada respects all three genders
Mhm.
here, what is your stand, your Scientology church's stand on the third gender?
Well, we do believe that we're spiritual beings, right?
Mhm.
And we do believe that people can have the choice to love who they want. It's
Mhm.
like a human right. So we're not going to interfere in telling the person if that's right or not. And that's not our business. We're into spiritual, into helping people.
So you have got no objection when the same sex marriages are taking place
No.
in Canada. So you all are open-minded.
Yeah, we are. Accepting
that's very good.
everybody. Yeah,
That's
love
very
is
good.
love.
Because there are lots of religions in Canada who doesn't still believe in the third gender. But we being Canadians, we follow what our country follows,
And
the law.
definitely, yeah.
And that is our responsibility under our Charter of Rights, Canadian Charter of Rights. My religion doesn't accept the third gender, but I cannot express or show fear or show hatred towards them because I have believed in my heart that I am a Canadian first.
Very good.
Good.
We'll be taking a short break and we'll be soon with you. Welcome back in our show, Voice of Canada. After a short break, we are really have a pleasure of having Cyndie Trusca from Scientology Church, which is not only the church, it's a very, very big establishment of vast knowledge, and the way they are doing their work is really remarkable on
Thank
their
you.
part.
So, Cyndie, you host your weekly Zoom meetings, which is not only watched by Canadians, but I see in Haiti, Congo, where there's a large French-speaking population. How do you develop interest in that far places and the communities over there? How do they respond?
Yes, thank you for asking. The Volunteer Minister program is international, so we do have groups everywhere.
Okay.
And in Congo, we do have several groups as well. We do have a lot in Haiti because we opened
And both
the
are the
center there.
African countries. Am I right?
I mean, not
Haiti-
Haiti. Haiti is
Haiti is
Yeah.
also, it's a country of African. And Congo
No.
also. Congo too,
Congo
yeah.
is, yes.
Congo too.
is,
And
yeah.
Haiti too.
Yeah.
Because I know people from Haiti. And so that means that your Scientology church is more working very hard in Congo and Haiti. So, and they connect with the Canadian branch for the webinars.
Yeah,
And
I mean, anybody can join, right? They just need the link, so they can go onto our Facebook, Volunteer Ministers Canada, or also on my Facebook page, Cyndie Trusca. You can just message me, and I'm going to send you the link if you're interested to attend. It's totally free of charge.
Cyndie, as you are aware, I did attend few webinars during lockdown and prior to that also. So, and I gained quite a good knowledge, and I find your colleague very interesting and very informative.
Yes.
He also works very hard, whose name is Monsieur Phillips.
Yeah,
Am I right?
Philip.
And you also work very hard, and both of you are a very good team explaining, and you all show videos also and various things which becomes really, really easy to understand.
Yeah.
So in future, very near future, we would be requesting Philip to come and give us a talk to our
Yeah.
viewers in the Voice of Canada as soon as we get a slot vacant for him.
Yeah, I told him
Yes.
yesterday, and he was delighted, and he agrees to come.
And then by the time your interview would be released, and he will be seeing your ministry will be also seeing your interview. So they will be encouraged that we are a very open-minded channel, and our program Voice of Canada is open to everyone.
Yes.
That's
It's
very
not
good.
closed or for any community or for any religion. My show is open to all communities, all humans who meet my criteria.
Very good.
That's a good one.
So that is the only thing. So then that person can appear. Otherwise, we have shows. We have got over 20 anchors in this channel. We can always find an interview for that person's field with that anchor and that program. So that will meet the requirements of everybody.
Very good.
So coming a little bit personal, Cyndie, I am going to ask this question that I'm sure we all want to know. So are you married? Are you happily married? Is your spouse also involved in the Scientology church? And were you married here, like after coming to Ontario or back in Quebec?
That's a lot of questions. all
No,
at
that's a
once.
very, very sweet question. Give us the answers of our viewers. They always
We're so
ask.
excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the background of Cyndie?
Yes. So
We have
yes, I
never
am,
seen her family.
Yeah. Do you want my answer? Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Go ahead.
So yes, I'm happily married. My husband, Marius Trusca, he is living with me in Hamilton, and we got married in 2017 in December
Uh-huh.
in Ontario, in Guelph at the time.
Okay.
And in 2018 in May, we went to Quebec City at my Church of Scientology
Uh-huh.
in Quebec, and we got married there with all our
Wow.
family coming.
With French traditions.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I was all in
Wow.
French.
Yes. Perfect.
And any kids you have?
No,
Still okay. Any planning to have any more kids and expanding
see.
your family?
we'll see what the
Okay,
future
we are
says.
very busy.
Very busy. We'll
very
see.
busy.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Go ahead. As things are getting better and better after pandemic, what are your plannings for 22 and 23? Any major events you are planning, like convention or like having more webinars, meeting more communities in
Or
person,
one-on-one.
Yeah.
and calling more crowd? Like I remember when I had the federal MP
Yeah.
from Ottawa. You were there at that show also, and that where we had about 50, 60 people, and we had all kinds of questions asked to that lady MP.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Rachel Harder was
Yeah.
a member of parliament. I was the host for that tea party,
Oh, wow.
and Cyndie she was
It was
so
the first time we
interested.
met, actually.
Oh my God! Okay, yeah. That was the first time
Yeah.
we met. Correct.
Yeah.
Because a common mutual friend called me and then extended the invitation.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I've got a short
So-
memory.
No, it's fine. So your question was, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, during
what are the
22,
upcoming-
the remaining part of 22 and 23, any major events are being planned out by you?
So we are planning currently different events. I cannot say necessarily because
Just give us a brief idea.
we have a big volunteer minister tent. It's like quite big, and we have all our tools for life in it, and we also do some assistance processes that we do to help people relieve pain. So we're looking at different festivals, and we're going to be there. We're looking also what probably being in a CNE, but it's not sure right now, the CNE exhibition.
Wow.
We were there in the past, in 2019.
This time we are, after 2019,
Yeah,
CNE is going to take place. That's a good news for
it
Canadians.
is an amazing.
That's our lifeline, CNE. And really, people really enjoy. Millions of people visit CNE and they thoroughly enjoy till we have the Labor Weekend, and that ends the show.
Yeah.
And we say soon now, after that, the fall is going to come and we prepare for fall.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's too fast.
Too fast. I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Cyndie, please let us know our viewers, how many countries is your organization fully established with the church?
Yes, so we have actually 11,000 churches, organization affiliated with the church in 167 nations.
And mostly in Western nations, do you find your church finds any difficulty in certain conservative cultured nations?
I would like to say no, but yes.
There are.
I mean,
I would not like to name the country or countries on that because their culture and their
It is hard.
system is very orthodox. They're hard to digest for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are, and it's not only you all, there are more organizations in the world which they object and they don't allow them to operate.
Thank you for asking, because in South Africa, as an example, they're so happy to have all these tools that they are actually like training a lot of teachers with the study technology so they can use that with all their students.
Right.
So they're basically using the study technology in a lot of their schools, and they're training a lot of people. But here we don't have that demand yet, but we are developing more and more people who have interest and are willing to have these tools. So it's just a matter of continuing. We have a lot of very good volunteers that are doing an amazing work in different communities. So I think it's just a matter of being there, being present, and no matter like.
So you all are trying hard to break into those countries and communities as well.
Yeah, we want to help. That's what we do. So.
And you are a
needs help?
serving
Just need to tell
organization
us.
of humanity. You are not conflicting with anybody's religion, and
No.
you all are not preaching any religion. And you all are not any converting also. Am I right?
No, like the volunteer minister is really just, as I said, to share our knowledge, and you can be of any religion and use it. Like if you have problems in your marriage, like you can do a free online course on volunteerminister.org, and you don't need to change your faith for that. And it's totally free.
Cyndie, you already I'm seeing the time.
Yeah.
It's paucity of time. We would have asked you many questions up till now, but as we have to continue with our second interview also, and we have to vacate the floor by 6:50, 6:55, because after that there is a live show. So would you like to give some concluding comments to our viewers, what they should do, how they could follow you, and in the end, today you have brought a very nice informative video on drugs, how to save yourself from drugs and the use of drugs. So we will be showing at the conclusion of your interview to the viewers, and that will be truly helpful. So stay well and keep doing the great work, what you are doing with your establishment, the Scientology Church, and with your colleague Bernard and all the rest of your national volunteers, and even your whoever who are guiding you and teaching you. Bring out more publications. And
thank you very much for having us here today. I want to also thank everybody that are watching this show. Merci beaucoup. If there are any French people here, that was great. Very good question. I think you brought like everything I had
we
to
did
say
our best
about,
to bring it in 45 minutes. We have rather exceeded 5 minutes with you. and
Yeah.
we will be putting more 5 minutes for your video. So it is going to be a full-fledged
And I just want to say one
houseful
thing.
show.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing. If you want to do a free online course, you can go on volunteerminister.org, and there you can find a lot of free online courses. There are actually 19 topics.
So send me the link in writing, and when we edit your interview, we'll be showing it on the screen.
Awesome.
Your contact, so that will be a foolproof arrangements for our viewers. If anybody is interested, they can contact you.
Awesome.
Or if they can contact us even, we will immediately forward that people or those persons to you.
Good.
Thank you, Cyndie.
With that,
You're
we will be signing off from today's weekly talk show with Cyndie Trusca, who had given us a lot of tons of information to our viewers. And our viewers now know what is Scientology Church. It's an establishment. It's an establishment, a treasure of knowledge. It's not a church. Usually the word church is used for preaching and for religious purposes. But here,
It's a different church.
it's a different church. The concept is entirely different for
Yeah.
awareness, education, and serving the humanity. With that, we say goodbye. God bless Canada. And see you next week in our popular show, Voice of Canada, which is hosted by Asphandiar Wadiwalla, co-hosted by Kavita Metha. And we will have a very interesting guest next week also for you. So goodbye and adios.